This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
I like this clash here. Illawarra, a resurgent Illawarra Hawks hosting Tasmania up there in Wollongong. Under Justin Tatum, there's belief, there's drive, and there's excitement for the Hawks. And for Tassie, they've got to keep winning. They've got to try and get that second spot when it comes to the standings. In terms of a sports bet same game multi, we'll rely on those guys who get it done time and time again. Milton Doyle, he's been a bit flat lately, but we'll back him in. We'll take Sam Froling to get 8 or more boards. And Tyler Harvey's been playing really good basketball of late. This will be a beauty. Enjoy the game.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
We've been at the bottom for so long, and now we're trying to find our way to the top. I got a chance to, get comfortable in this position, so I just want my team to keep winning.
All the way in and all the way up. There's a start for the Hawks with Gary Clark going upstairs. Simply incredible. The Illawarra Hawks win their 4th game of the season, knock off the hottest team in the competition right now, the Perth Wildcats. And the Hawks crack the ton for the 2nd week in a row. It's a 28-point thumping of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Justin takes it, coaching up a storm here.
Really dropped the mic there, Justin Tatum. We are into round 12 and the 12 games of Christmas which continue in Wollongong. Get here any way you can. Hungry Jack's NBL tip-off today delivers a double-header. Illawarra, Tasmania, later Melbourne, Perth. With this first game, Hawks fans believe their season can continue to rebuild. As for Tassie, they're have to bounce back from a round 11 wipeout where they dropped both games, but still the Mitsubishi Motors ladder shows the JackJumpers sitting comfortably in 3rd, the Hawks off the bottom and in a position to climb if they can continue to rack up the wins. Good evening everybody, Matt Russell alongside everybody's favourite elf, Brad Rosen. When these teams met in round 3, the JackJumpers were big winners, but I'll bet your left leg. It's not going to be 30 points the difference this time around.
Compliments to the season to everyone, and no, you are right, it will not be 30 points, and the way Tasmania have played is very good, but Illawarra, they have gone to another level.
Illawarra have won 3 of their last 4 games, barring a bumbling finish against Brisbane. It could be 4 straight under Coach Tatum. When it comes to Coach Scott Roth, he watched his side get beaten twice in round 11, but one of those defeats was by a point in Perth. Then on the quick turnaround, they went down by single figures against Sydney, the reigning champs. I don't read too much into that. What about you?
Well, I don't, but it's the turnovers that Tasmania gave. You watch these couple of possessions here, and they were just silly turnovers, and as un-Tasmania like. Just simple be able to give the Kings, and then when they get off to the races, the Kings were very good. So Tasmania, they can take care of that tonight. That will definitely help them get this game. 19 turnovers. Well, they'll need to improve that. Jack McVeigh is enjoying career-high minutes, points, rebounds, assists, and in his last game, he had a season-high 23 points. Aside from the stats, I love the energy he brings. He's the team's barometer day in, day out. Is he everyone's favourite player, Matty? You just love him. The energy he gives. I did be able to interview him earlier, just a smile on his face, but he is an assassin. He's playing outstanding basketball. Nothing better than that big dagger 3 that he hit in Cairns a couple of weeks ago.
Now, fans here are already shouting, sign this man long-term, Hawks. They've seen enough. They want him on the books for the next couple of seasons. Certainly over 4 games so far, the defence has improved remarkably under Justin Tatum, giving up 65, 78, 82 and 72. So average that out, 74 points per game since they made a coaching change. We know the defence has improved. Brad Rosen, tell us how it's improved.
Well, it's come from the way their energy has started. You look at this is round 3. This is where they were playing, and you watch Tasmania here. They didn't have to do anything. No ball pressure. They just get Steindl, come off the down screen, wide open three. That's how you lose by 30 points. This is how you win games. You watch how they're up and in now. There's Bryce Cotton, and they're all over this ball. Watch Dave O'Hickey. Takes a hit, doesn't stop, keeps playing. As he drives here, Doolittle, 3 players come to the ball. Great defense. The next possession, again, up and in, same game. Defense creates offense. They go to the hoop. He misses the shot here. Watch what happens. Off to the races. 2-on-1 situation. Lee gets the ball. Layup. That is the Illawarra Hawks we love to watch.
And as you tell us, from the good defence, better offence flows, Tyler Harvey has certainly fired.
How good was he last week? 22 in that first half was outstanding.
Well, his 25 points was a career high for Tyler Harvey, and it was the first time he'd led the Hawks scoring since round 5. Brad Rosen, up to you for a final word.
Standing right here next to Coach Tatum, and these boys are ready to play. We know they're in. The bench is ready to go. Let's throw this in the air. It's a Merry Christmas time for Illawarra Hawks, playing against the JackJumpers.
Yeah, Hawks fans believe they're in for a ripper Christmas. As we say, compliment to the season to Lee Montagna, Peter Hooley and Damon Lowry. It's game time.
Thank you, Matty. Thank you, Brad. The boys are up and about. So is Damon Lowry. Looking forward to this one. Pete Hooley, as we kickstart what is going to be a cracking doubleheader tonight. NBL24 round 12, of course, following this one. The Perth-Melbourne game, the open air game, but looking forward to this one. The Hawks at home. Same faces, but a different team, as the boys touched on. And what a set play to start.
Count it. We're getting off to a good start already if you're a Hawk fan. Everybody's touching the ball. And like we said earlier, they're the same guys, Joey, but they different guys now. They're a band of brothers, whole bunch of energy, and they just came out and ran a good set.
Starting fives, Tyler Harvey, Justin Robinson, Gary Clark, Swarkle the Bullock, and Sam Froling for the Hawks. And for the Tassie JackJumpers, Milton Doyle, a familiar face, alongside Jordan Crawford, Drimmick, Marcus Lee, and Jack McVeigh.
Expecting more from Milton Doyle tonight. I mean, I know they lost the 2 games last round, and it was a bit of a surprise for a lot of people the way that Tasmania's been this season. And not too surprising if you look at everything they had in terms of Milton Doyle just coming back from being overseas with what happened in his family. So I'm expecting him to be really aggressive on the front foot here.
There is Milton Doyle. As the boys touched on the 19 turnovers against Sydney, and that's a nice start.
Here we go.
They're not going to do that again tonight. This man, as you said, just been slightly down in recent games.
Don't stick this way. Don't do it again. You got me? Do I get your approval?
Well, so often we have seen, I mean, it's the Jordan Crawford Milton Doyle show, isn't it, in Tasmania, and trying to figure out who's going to go trying to score at what point of the game. Milton Doyle sometimes can be really passive to begin games and let Jordan Crawford get going, or try and feed the big fella early. He's really good here. 2 back-to-back buckets here in the first minute.
It's going to be a big matchup as well. Sam Froling going up against Marcus Lee, and then Will Magnate. Does lead the league points in the paint, Froling, but not on that occasion.
Sam's going to have his work cut out today with 2 shot blockers. He's going to get about 17 minutes of Marcus Lee, and then Will Magnate's going to come in and do exactly the same thing and change shots.
Here's Drimmick, pulls up. Gary Clark with the rebound. Back-to-back double-doubles for Gary Clark. Part of the improvement of this Illawarra Hawks lineup is Robinson trying to get himself going early. Looking for a big game for Justin Robinson.
He needs one. He's been trending, I guess, in the right direction the last couple games. Hasn't had the breakout game he had since that Southeast Melbourne Phoenix game back in, I think, round 2 or round 3. But he's capable. So under this new regime, we'll see what he can do.
They're not big numbers, but he's been more efficient in recent weeks. Justin Robinson, this man, he's been a walking bucket. 3 straight games with 20-plus points. Jordan Crawford.
Well, you go back to the game that Illawarra played Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They put up 100, but both Gary Clark and Sam Froling only scored about 6 to 8 points each in the first half, and then exploded in the second half. I mean, it was all Tyler Harvey in that first 20 minutes. He had 22 points before picking up a 3rd foul and had to sit down. So they kind of pick and choose where they have an advantage. So this man right here, I think he had 3 slow games to start the season, but he has been enormous since.
It's so consistent. Gary Clark, 15 points, shooting at almost 50% from the field. And there's the defence Brad Rosen was talking about. Clark, his legs that long.
One thing the Hawks don't want to do is deviate from what they've been doing the last 4 games. They've been playing a patient offense. Nothing too erratic, taking great shots, which helps their shooting percentage. Just don't want, as Justin Robinson gets a nice steal, kick ahead to Swaka.
And that's turning defense into offense. He just said Brad Rosen, he spoke about that. Milton Doyle surprisingly leads the league in turnovers. Milton Doyle, someone who plays with such composure. He's had more turnovers than any other player in the competition.
He's serious.
Yep.
I wouldn't have thought that.
46 in his 15 games. He started well in this one. A couple of buckets already. They go down to McVeigh. It's that little move on Froling, just leaves it short.
Justin Robinson doesn't like that call, but he's always going to get it. When you face guard on a box out, that's what's going to happen. And here's Harvey Norman replay, just fighting over the screen. All you got to do is show that intent, and then Swaka Bullock on the break, benefiting from Justin Robinson, getting upstairs, and you can see him in the background. He's enjoying that. There's that defense to offense we're going to keep alluding to. But down the other end, he gets called for this foul. Time you try and box out when you're facing the opposition is going to be an easy call for the referee.
There's another turnover from Milton Doyle. So still a bit rusty, and again, in transition, Harvey. The crowd would have loved that to fall.
I would have loved if he'd have threw the alley-oop to Gary Clark, but that's okay. That was in transition off of a steal, and we all know Tyler can get hot at any given time.
Crawford misses the mid-ranger. Some full-court pressure from Lee. Best defence in the competition, the Tassie JackJumpers. #1 for points against. And off the back of the last 4 good games, they're third in the competition, the Hawks, for defence. And they've got their offense going early as well. Swaka Bullock with 4 points. And there's going to be another turnover for the JackJumpers already.
It's the 4th turnover. They've scored nearly every other possession, and they haven't turned the ball over. As Will Magnay checks into this game. Talking about their defense being elite, it wasn't for the first bit of the season. They really struggled. They were leaking a lot of points. It was just a shade of what we'd come to see from Tasmania in their first 2 years in the league. Will Magnay got healthy. I think everybody else started to switch on, and they have been really good lately.
Magnay does check into the game. Here's Robinson. Can he get going? Oh, misses for the Hawks.
He's not shooting a good percentage from deep water, Justin Robinson, only 28% from deep. But you can hear Justin Tatum on the sideline just saying, I'll take that one. Like, that's the shot to take. As Will Magnay finishes the little miss. But this is what Justin Tatum has done. He's given these guys more belief. They feel more confident. Even if they're not in positions to do that well, they know their coach believes in them.
There's the matchup we spoke about, Froling and Magnay. Froling wanted the foul. Shot clock down to 5. So Robinson, again, going to let it fly.
You don't like those ones when you are shooting poorly from outside, just to 28%. You've got to get it up.
Drimmick makes them pay at the other end.
There's a bit going on since Will Magnay's checked in. Jim and Justin Robinson having a few words to say.
Let's get back down courtside. Matt Russell.
Lee, let's celebrate the consistency of Tasmania. Yes, they lost both games last round, and that prompted Damon Lowry to ask this week, when was the last time the JackJumpers lost 3 straight? Well, the answer is 45 games ago. It was the first 3 games of last season. October 22, the last time Tassie dropped 3 in a row.
And they were 20 minutes away from dropping 4 in a row. If you go back to remember that, they were 18 points down at home, game 4 of last season to the Bullets. Came back and won that one in overtime, and then went on a run. All of a sudden, we started thinking they could do it, make a championship series once again.
You like the Rain Man, Pete, with them stats. You remember that?
Yeah, that's just off the dome.
Tatum has made some substitutions. Jung Lee checks in. Dave O'Hickey and Mason Peatley.
And this has been the one thing about, I guess, when Justin Tatum taking over, and everybody assumed that, okay, we're going to tighten up the rotations, we're going to really limit who plays, but if anything, he's probably rotated a little bit more. I think that comes with we're seeing everybody involved, right? Everybody's up and about. The energy from 1 through 12, everybody is locked in because they know they're going to be needed. At any moment, they're going to come in and play little spurts here and there, so they're all checked in.
Here's Magnay, the offensive board, draws the foul. Is it time to unleash Will Magnay? Now, Damon is playing his 99th game today. He'll play his 100th NBL game on Christmas when they take on South East Melbourne. It's his 7th season. We know he's had the run with injuries, but 25 years old. He's now played 7 games in a row. He's been super impressive. Is it now time to crank up his minutes?
You know what? I'm all for it. Scott Ross seems to think he needs to get in more game shape, but Will Magnay looks great to me, Pete. He's averaging 16 minutes a game. He's extremely lively, and he's getting you 10 points and 7 rebounds. So I know they have a nice two-headed monster with him and Marcus Lee, but I think he can at least get 25 minutes out of him.
Look, I'm with you, because I'm high on the Will Magnay train, as a lot of people are. But if there's one person that probably knows his limitations or what he can do in terms of keeping his production at this high level, it'll be Scott Roth. So I trust that Roth is doing the right thing, and that's a great pass from Milton Doyle, and there is Will Magnay. Will Magnay's come in. He's got 4 rebounds, 4 points in 2 minutes.
Well, it's the least amount of minutes he's averaging in 6 seasons, but career highs, rebounds and points. And Brad Rosen, you want to join in on the convo?
I am right here at the Tasmania bench, and Magnay is a stalwart out here. It is so noticeable, and it's not a surprise they brought Peatling out, because they just need to get someone to bang with him. They are putting Clark on him, and when that switch comes off like this on ball, now he's just able to get to the basket and an easy score.
Great call, Brad, on cue. And they've just drifted out to a little 6-point lead here.
And I think the other side of it, Damon, as we talk about him minutes increasing and maybe even going to a starting lineup, is you also don't want to do anything that could set him back. So if he doesn't pushes the limits a little bit to the injuries, have a look at this pass from Milton Doyle. Will Magnay just in the right spot at the right time. It's a good connection there, and he does something that just pushes him too far, and he ends up having a setback injury-wise or health-wise. That's just not what he needs. It's not what Tasmania needs, because he's coming out of a contract at the end of this year, and no doubt that if he can finish up this year the trajectory he's going, looking forward to next year and beyond, because he's still got plenty left in the tank.
Only 25 years of age. Yep. His best basketball still ahead of him. Oh, good feed from Froling to Hickey.
Davo Hickey just provides energy. You wouldn't say, is he a point guard? Is he a 2 guard? He's a guard, and he's a defensive-minded guard as he forces Milton Doyle into a miss, but moving well without the ball. Sam Froling, when he doesn't post up that close to the basket, he's probably looking to pass it. Guys are moving off the ball, giving him options. This is what I like to see, trying to get easy buckets by the Hawks.
Hickey getting some minutes. Dan Greeder out with the ankle injury. The only player injured for both sides, so pretty fit and healthy, these two teams. Here's Crawford. Pulls the ball out, and they'll run through their set. McDonald. As AJ Johnson checks into the game, the young next start. And Crawford's going to have to get this up. Oh, the step back. It would have been some sort of finish.
Hey, look. As AJ comes down in trance, makes something happen. Jordan Crawford, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, Pete. I don't feel he can be guarded one-on-one. You have to literally hope he misses.
Yeah, I thought the way that just got you out of your seat, I realised that your seat was just coming up from being down from pressing the lever.
There you go.
Majok Deng comes in, knocks down a triple. Let's get back down courtside to Matt Russell.
Yeah, further to that discussion on Dan Greeder, Hawks fans will be happy to know that he's available on Christmas night. That's one thing. The next part is getting back into the rotation, but he's over that ankle injury, training hard and slated to play on Christmas night.
Of course, both these teams are in action again, Christmas night. Can't wait for that one, the Hawks and the Kings. It'll be an absolute beauty as Peatling has to throw it up.
It's been a tough quarter, scoring the ball just 10 points so far. They're 5 of 17 and 0 of 7 from deep. Just hit one. That's no good. Both teams are struggling from outside. Just 1 of 6 for Tasmania as well. But there have been some good looks for the Hawks. Just haven't managed to knock them down. And the beauty is they're not down by more than 7 at this rate.
They've led at quarter time their last 5 games, the JackJumpers. Looks like it'll be 6 games as Hickey coughs that one up. And on the fast break, it's going to be Crawford. Pulls up. He's knocked down the triple.
Let's talk about it. Justin Tatum calls a timeout. Let's talk about this.
Timeout, 40 seconds to go in the first quarter as well. Not just waiting for quarter time. He's not happy with that defensive transition, and for good reason. Whoever's running back, it looked like it might have been Davo Hickey. You've just got to go. If you're the closest man to the ball, someone just has to stop the ball.
As Scott Roth chats to his team, we spoke pre-game about Jack McVeigh having a career best year. Well, Brad Rosen caught up with him pre-game.
You personally, career year, everything's up, points, minutes and everything. You look like you love playing basketball.
That's it. I mean, I'm living the dream every single day. This is what I've been working for since as long as I can remember. My older brother was playing. My mum put a ball in my hands when I was 5 years old, and I get to come out here and do it every night. And and try and score the ball, because I do love doing that, so I can't complain for a single second.
His energy's infectious, isn't it?
If you're looking for any type of inspiration, motivation for the Christmas holidays, look no further than Jack McVay's Twitter account, because he's all about perspective. He's all about positivity. He's all about doing the right things by the game, working his butt off. No coincidence that he's having a career year in every statistical category.
Yeah, put the work in, you get the rewards. I just spoke about Jordan Crawford. He's made a three-pointer in every game this year. Shot the ball poorly against the Kings, 1 of 8 from long range. Knocked that down, and Justin Tatum doesn't like the 10-point deficit. They started well, the Hawks, but as you said, Pete, it's dried up offensively back half of this first quarter.
Yeah, there's only been a handful of poor shots, though. That's the one thing that they'll be happy with. Justin Tatum was just talking to them then. No surprise with saying, let's just keep getting the ball through hands, and if you open, just trust that it's going to go down. But that's back-to-back turnovers now.
13, you've got a blocking foul on the edge there, Offense.
It's an offensive foul on Sam Froling.
Just spin on him.
I'd have a look at it here. It's going for the little handoff, and that little turn it is. It's a veteran play. So you've just got to stay still. It's a veteran play to pretend like you're handing off and go on a roll. You continue to move into that defender as they try and get over the screen. Easy call.
Steindl checks in. You can't get that to 4, but they get another offensive board.
Dodged the bullet. Clint Steindl shooting 48% from deep water.
It's their 5th offensive rebound of this first quarter. Deng's already knocked one down. He's had a few siders. And it's going to be another turnover. Steindl, you can't give him that much space. And that is going to hurt on quarter time. It'll be the equal lowest quarter for the Hawks. Just 10 points. Disappointing start for them, the JackJumpers. They are a professional outfit. They lead this one by 13 points. Can Illawarra fight their way back? Stay with us. Quarter time, Wynn Entertainment Centre in Wollongong. And he's had a great start, Justin Tatum, but he won't like what he saw in this first quarter. They started pretty well, the Hawks, but in the end, 29% from the field and an equal low 10 points for a quarter. Sees them trailing the JackJumpers by 13 points. Go. Damon Lowry, a bit deflating.
Not good. Not good at all. They're just simply being outworked. The JackJumpers, I got 15 total boards. To the Hawks 5. Now, we've been talking a lot about the Hawks and how they've been resurgent, but the Tasmania JackJumpers, don't forget, as Jordan Crawford gets fouled from downtown, don't forget about the JackJumpers, Pete. When they lose a couple in a row, Scott Roth he brings the wrath. So I should have saw this coming, a bounce-back game for them guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think a lot of people were expecting Tasmania to come in and try and just silence this ship that keeps sailing really well from the Illawarra Hawks. And again, I think the Hawks, you look back at that first quarter, 10 points is obviously not ideal, but over 7 from 3, and they didn't go to the free throw line. Actually, these are the first free throws of the game so far for anybody, but they were just relying a lot on their outside shots, and when they're not falling, you've got to try and find a way to put points on the board.
Let's get down courtside. Matt Russell, you're listening in at quarter time.
Lee, you're probably right. Justin Tatum, I'm sure, wouldn't have enjoyed what he's seen, but he was overwhelmingly positive during that late timeout in the first quarter. And in that first quarter, heartily said, boys, stay positive. You know what to do. Work hard. It will change. He made the first 2 minutes of this second quarter really important for his team. Brad Rosen?
Well, as you can imagine, Scott Roth very happy with the way his teams are playing. 3 simple instructions. Defensive transition. He does not want to give Illawarra any easy baskets. He then said offensively, we want to push it as fast as we can, as there's a nice little floater there from Tyler Harvey that gets his tip in. And the last thing he wants to do is just not settle for the 3.
Jordan Crawford, the 8 points, leading everyone as Deng misses that again.
Really aggressive right now. Majuk Deng, 1 of 4 from deep.
Hello.
That's a good look. Kick out, little pick and pop action for Garrett Clark. Just didn't get it to go. So they're 0 of 8 now from outside.
I'm looking at these matchups on the floor right now, Pete, and I thought Scott Roth put that lineup out there just to finish the quarter, but they're small. Krislovich is the 5-man. And I'm looking at Sam Frawley right now going, this is where I got to go. I got to go to Sam on the block, not right there on the three-point line, but close to the basket to get some high percentage shots.
He's been in good form, Sam Frawley, under Justin Tatum. But hasn't and then throws down a poster.
Oh, Sam.
Is that what you wanted, Damon?
Sam said, Merry Effie Christmas. Oh, my God.
His teammates can't believe it. There was a bit of frustration in that one, I reckon.
Oh, my word.
He hadn't scored. And he's made a statement. Can that inspire his team? Get something going at the offensive end. They've got Damon Lowry out of his seat. And they force a turnover.
Oh, here we go. You've just been waiting for the replay, Damon.
Harvey Norman, we need you. Harvey Norman replay. Sam says to Majuk Deng.
That is just such a bad
business
decision.
You like me now.
That is a bad business decision from Majuk Deng.
Well, that's the way to get your first bucket.
If they don't run a high pick and roll for Sam the next time down, we got problems. I don't want to come across neither, Pete, as a biased former Hawk in my commentary. But I'm just saying, what the Hawks need to do to get back in this game, it's got to be with Sam Frawley getting buckets.
Well, as we said, he was averaging 16 points and almost 7 boards these last 4 games under Justin Tatum, shooting at almost 70% from the field.
Oh, Todd. Oh, Todd. Oh, Todd.
There is the man you said no one can defend one-on-one, Damon.
Sorry, Todd.
Oh, my.
Can somebody get Todd some ankle braces for Christmas?
Oh. And a GPS.
That's a tough cover for you, Pete.
It's a tough cover for anyone.
10 points now for Crawford.
That's He looked lost. He looked lost on that island.
Fixing the lineup. Tatum, he's got Wiley Bales in. Spoke about Todd Blanchfield. And they go to Clark. Gets down low, and then good active hands from Crawford.
And those are the ones where if you're Wiley Bales, you just got to cut off the ball, right? Because you just stood still knowing that if that ball came out, it's going to be a trouble. If that ball came out, they're going to live with a late contest on that 3. So what you have to do is either cut through and let Todd Blanchfield or another shooter come around to replace, or go screen away. Just standing there and watching Garrett Clark go to work allowed Jordan Crawford to come down and get his hands on that ball.
You had to control. Red.
Todd's got subbed out to go ice his ankles. This is a different monster. The Tasmania JackJumpers coming off back-to-back losses is a totally different beast. The Hawks haven't seen nothing like this. They caught Perth when they ended Perth's winning streak at 5. That might have been time for Perth. Who knows? But this is a totally different monster right now, a fired-up JackJumper team.
Here's Bales. Pulls up.
You saw the way they were defending that, right? Underneath all screens. Even the re-screens are okay with going under that on Bales. So that's where you need to get everybody else ready to set some screens, get some shooters open. It's probably the time that if you're going to have Bales running the point, you need a Hyung-Jong Lee out there, someone who is just notorious where defenders aren't going to leave him. There's that man Jordan Crawford right now. 13 points, 4 of 6 from the field. Starting to heat up.
Yeah, he's chock full of confidence, Jordan Crawford. It's Harvey with a good find to Froling. Needs to finish that.
And that's not a block either, but that's Will Magnay. Will Magnay's presence just being there to jump straight up and attempt to block that means that Sam Froling has to put it a little bit higher, and he misses it. And now we've got a 20-point ball game. Majuk Deng, who has hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like.
He's been wide open plenty of times. He's had 5 cracks at it, knocks down his second, and another timeout for the Illawarra Hawks. Snooze timeout. They trail by 20, and Damon, this has been a little bit too easy.
It's over-helping right there. The penetration is hurting the Hawks. They are over-helping. Just then, Bawali Bales came off Jordan Crawford. He knocks it down. Now here's Shawnee Mack getting into the key, helping up too much. Now Majuk Deng, who has been quiet all season, only averaging 8 points a game, but we all know Majuk can score. So the Hawks need to tighten up that D for sure. This is going to get even uglier.
Well, we'll get down courtside because Matt Russell has a very special guest alongside him.
I've got a couple of very special guests, Lee. Coach Justin Tatum has 2 of his favourite women in the world here during the festive period for support. His mum, Rosemarie, and his daughter, Caden, on the far side. I've interrupted their Pluto pups, but Mum, we'll ignore the scoreboard. Let's talk more generally. What's Coach Justin Tatum said about this team to you?
He loves the team. He said that they're really coachable. They're all friendly. They want, and each one of them that's on the team wants to make sure that each other, does a great job. So there are no little I's, big T's, or nothing like that. They all are the same, and so they all feel that way about each other. They're all in there. They know that a win is a win, and they want to make sure that they all participate.
Caden, what's the best part about coming to Australia to see Dad?
The best part coming to Australia to see my dad is just having a lot of fun and see interesting things about Australia.
You know whether Santa knows his way to Australia?
Wait, what you said?
He does, trust me. You're getting presents on Christmas Day. Mum, I know you're proud of your son all the times, but he started this coaching caper very, very well at senior level. Enjoy your time in Australia. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Matt Russell. That's what it's all about this festive season. It's about family. Great to see Justin Tatum's family there.
Welcome, Mama.
Will Magnay's going to go to the free throw line.
Have a look at this. Got Mom in the house. Justin Tatum got his daughter here. All the gangs around the house. This camaraderie. Something about this group, Pete. I mean, yes, every team party takes photos like this. Not that I've seen any. But I'm just saying, it just seems to be an all-in, one-in kind of thing with this group. And this man right here, he's the reason.
I mean, it's hard to talk about it now with the current scoreline, but we've seen it since he's taken over, haven't we? Just that rejuvenated spirit, but energy, the way they're playing for each other, and they've been getting up and about it. It's just a great vibe. Oh, my word!
Wow! I'll see Sam Froling and I'll raise you, says Will Magnay.
Now, Will Magnay's ridiculous. Over 2 bodies as well.
Payback.
How's that for a Christmas feast?
There's nothing wrong with Will Magnay, Scott Roth. Absolutely nothing wrong with him. He's fine.
Now,
all the minutes you can give him, he can handle it.
Damian Martin, we saw it on the NBL socials today, and as that one nearly comes up well short, said how if Will Magnay continues to stay healthy and obviously gets his minutes increased towards the end of the season, that he'll be on an NBA Summer League roster next year. And the way you see him play, again, he's doing all this production in such a short amount of time.
Well, just saw there, 9 points, 5 rebounds, just over 6 minutes he's played in this one.
And he's had double-doubles. Remember the game against New Zealand where he dominated in just 16 minutes. We'll forget that the trajectory that he went on from that season of the Bullets to going to the New Orleans Pelicans, and it was around that COVID time, and it was a really interesting time just to be anywhere in the world, let alone trying to live out your dream in the States. And he came back and joined the Wildcats halfway through. It didn't work out for the way that he would have wanted, and then got picked up for the JackJumpers, had to deal with injuries.
Here's McDonald getting to the free throw line.
They're living in the key. They are living in the paint. There's problems. Pete, your job, your challenge, Pete, Mr. Statman, is the stat you talk about with Will Magnay, didn't block the shot but caused you to miss. Change shots.
I absolutely have
Get the
noticed
work.
that for a change shot. But how often do we see it? I mean, we would have seen it just there had that not been a foul call. And you just watch him, how active he is defensively, right? And a lot of the time he knows where if he's coming across from the weak side that he's not going to be able to block this. But he knows that if he jumps straight up and at least puts his arms up, that whoever's shooting that ball might have to put a little bit more air on it than usual. Might have to try and go around you a little bit more than they have to.
That should be the most important
Basketball
thing right
fans, you got an opportunity for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to access the world-beating Chicago Bulls of the 90s when the NBL partner with TEG Live to bring Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley and Horace Grant to Australia. The Noble Speaking Tour presented by Coca-Cola consists of 3 epic shows, one in Hobart, Melbourne and Sydney in February 2024. Don't miss out. Tickets available nbl.com.au/Noble.
Actually got to do a little mini huddle episode with Horace Grant the other day. Spoke with the great man. I'll tell you what, if that little taste that I had, if you haven't had a chance to listen to it wherever you get your podcast, NBL podcasts online, he has some juice ready to go. He said the thing he's most excited about is holding Luke Longley and Scottie Pippen accountable. He said, if they don't tell the full truth, I'll come in with the full truth.
Good hands from Justin Robertson again. Force another turnover. The 6th for the Tassie JackJumpers, coming off their, well, franchise record 19 turnovers last week. They're in a commanding position here, 20-point lead. They're doing as they please in this first half here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre as Ulbrich knocks down Crawford. And Robinson's...
It's a good look.
Yeah.
They've had a couple of those. I mean, they had a lot of those in the first quarter where they're the looks you have to continue to take because Jordan Crawford's just a little bit worse for wear. You can see him over here on the sideline.
The youngster, Ulbrich, thought him a beauty. He'll just take his time as Magnay will look to go to work on the youngster. Good defence, and then Gary Clark at the
Didn't have to do it. Didn't have to do it, Gary Clark. That was well defended by Lockie Ulbrich. Will Magnay makes that over the outstretched hands of Ulbrich. He kept him out from underneath the hoop. Just let him try and make a tough hook shot.
This is what I mean by over-helping. You just don't need to be down there. Trust your guy. Now the scoreboard is clearly all JackJumpers' way. Now do the Hawks start to panic a little bit? They think we have to try to score quickly and kind of maybe revert back to some previous habits. We'll see how they respond now because this is now their first proper test since their winning streak.
You're right, and on that test is when you're struggling to score the ball, when the scoreboard's not ticking over, can you stay elite defensively? Can you stay at the level we've seen recently defensively to stay competitive? We haven't seen that so far in this game as there's some burgers for New South Wales, some Christmas burgers.
There's the code word, mate. Download the app and get your free cheeseburger.
Tell him Will sent you.
He's missed all 3 of his free throws, Will Magnay. In fact, he's 1 from 5, sorry, from the stripe. So he's left some points out there. There's Ulbrich getting some minutes.
Oh, see,
can't get that to fall either.
There's a lid on it. But again, you're down 20. All you have to do, right, there's a lid on this hoop, is get stops.
He's Froling.
Got to go to work here, Sam.
And he gets it to 4. And he'll go to the free throw line. Dana just got a text message just before from our man Derek Rucker.
Oh, Lord.
He says, we've gone a quarter and a half and you haven't mentioned the Navy SEALs yet, Damon.
Oh, Lord. See there, I was trying to not bring it up as much because Derek, you know, he gets all scratchy when I'm trying to get him to live a Navy SEAL life. But since you brought that up, the Hawks need to adjust, adapt, and overcome in true Navy SEAL fashion. Right now, they're not doing that.
I knew we couldn't get through a half. Let's get down to Matt Russell courtside.
Well, Tasmania couldn't stop Sam Froling right there, but they've done a good job to stop the Hawks as a team. Only 21 points conceded, 4.5 left in the second. We know the JackJumpers are the best defensive team in the league. They're showing it again, and with discipline, conceding only 3 fouls so far, just 3 fouls compared to the Hawks' 8. That bucket counts for the JackJumpers as we go up to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, Matty, I want to just extend that with Tasmania. They have been outstanding tonight, but also give it to the bench. We talk about the depth of these guys. They've just brought 3 starters back into the game that have played limited minutes. You look at Drimmy, you look at McVeigh, and they've just brought Milton Doyle back in. These boys have just been unbelievable, and the bench players have brought it tonight as well.
Would have been close to calling a timeout there, even on the miss. That free throw rebound got all the way to Jordan Crawford without anybody touching it. So they do just look a little flat right now.
Let's see if they can work their way through it, the Hawks. Froley might be the one to get something going. Well, that's the back buckets.
And that comes with the test, doesn't it? Because you just can't be a team that gets up and about, has this energy about them when the ball's going in the basket.
Correct.
It's not going to get you that sustained success throughout the course of the season. Every team goes through these periods where you just can't score when things aren't going well. But what happens? The great teams find a way to win or be competitive by just getting stops. Saying, we're having one of those nights. Everybody's struggling to knock down the open shot. We're not taking too many poor ones. Let's just trust that that'll turn around eventually. Until then, we're not letting the other team score.
Here's Hong Jung Lee. And another one.
Might have
It's
got
bounced
away.
out.
Yeah, might have got away with a little bit of a shuffle, but yeah, look at this. I mean, the JackJumpers are getting everything they want. They're being patient. They're not rushing anything.
Of course, when these two teams did meet earlier in the year, it was the JackJumpers by 30. Matt Russell.
I was worried.
Matt Russell bet Brad Rosen's left leg. That it wouldn't be anything like that.
I was literally, as they were saying that, I was worried about the left leg of Brad Rosen. And then he ran down the sideline to get to that Illawarra huddle, and I was even more worried about the left leg. I'm worried that hamstring. I have to get an update on Brad's hamstring.
Well, they actually do have the wood over the Hawks. Tassie, they're 6-1 overall. These two sides have met. Only once have the Illawarra Hawks beaten the JackJumpers. They've lost their last 4 meetings against these two teams. So they do struggle as another timeout is called. Snooze timeout, trailing by 20 points. The Illawarra Hawks.
1 of 9 from 3. And again, I think there's been one poor shot clock one they had to launch.
And I'll tell you what, stay with us because there is an absolute beauty to follow. It is the open air game at John Cain Arena, and there is the man, the MVP favourite, Chris Goulding. First v second at the moment. Can't wait for that one, of course. The Wildcats beat them in that venue not long ago.
Well, MVP favourites in this game.
Yeah.
Chris Goulding and Bryce Cotton going at it, head to head.
Pete, what about these open air games? I was just walking in here from the car. A little bit of a breeze outside.
Oh, it gets breezy.
What's that going to do to CG's 3 ball?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to, I mean, it's an unbelievable spectacle to be a part of. If you've never been a part of it as a fan,
make sure you stick around.
Oh,
Fireworks and the roof.
Fireworks, it's so awesome to see. It's so unique, and obviously in the skyline of Melbourne. But the best part about it is with the challenges that teams may have to face, they both are in it together, right? It's not like one team doesn't have to do with it. They're both on the courtside level. They're both dealing with the same sort of environment as well. So I always get worried whenever these are scheduled in Melbourne because Melbourne's weather is
unpredictable.
It is.
At best.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful night in Melbourne, so the roof will be open. Looking forward to that one. We're just going to see if the Hawks can finish strongly in the last 3 minutes here. Just give themselves a little bit of momentum at half-time. Give themselves a chance. The fans have turned out. They've been playing some good basketball, but they're up against a formidable opponent this evening. They go to Clark, got the mismatch on Crawford.
They just took too long to get there. Just didn't look like there was a whole lot of shot clock awareness.
I don't know how much of a mismatch that is if you posted me up from at the foul line now. I mean, you can get Gary on the block.
Where's the
whole
furthest
different
you
ball
got
game.
posted out?
I didn't get posted up a whole lot. Bernard liked to talk a lot of garbage to be posting me up all the time, but he was shooting turnaround jumpers. Speaking of,
he's
the turnaround Jay from the little man, the little big man.
Brush you off the ankles, just nipping at Leonard's ankles.
15 first half points for Jordan Crawford.
That's not going to help the cause. This is not going to be a pretty halftime locker room, no doubt. But again, as we keep harping on about, one thing is this leading to that's going to be an offensive foul. You just can't let everything compound. Let those errors compound.
Gold, 24, offense.
They just look deflated. They look like we're struggling to score. This game is getting harder and harder to play.
Well, it has been an issue for them all year, the Hawks. They are second in the competition for field goal attempts, but 9th for field goal efficiency. And even their best shooter, Lee, Can't get that to go. 10 of 31 from the field.
1 of 10 from 3, and it's those quick ones when you are having a night like this as a team. It's not like 1 or 2 players are struggling. They're all struggling, and they're giving up offensive rebounds. That's the 9th offensive rebound. You can't give this man any open looks right now because Jordan Crawford is torching them.
Oh, my goodness. The Tasmania JackJumpers got a style. They got a style that you can trust. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. Everybody on the team's a threat offensively, defensively. And just when Will Magnay goes out of the game, Pete, here comes Marcus Lee doing the exact same thing, keeping shots alive like this.
9th O board and a wide open 3 to Jordan Crawford. He's got 18 points, 3 of 5 from deep. And I'm not that familiar with the law and how it works as a lawyer, but I'm not sure if this left leg of Brad Rosen's is this a legally binding contract?
If he said it.
He said it. It's on air.
Does your word mean anything, Brad?
Maybe it could be down the tattoo. Maybe we go down the tattoo path.
I just can't believe Matt Russell bet Brad Rosen's leg, not even his own. Please, throwing him under the bus. It's 23 points at the moment.
And his left one too. Brad's left one is significantly superior to his right.
Good defense from Robinson. McVeigh knew he just took a little bit too long. Possession arrow to the Hawks.
Tyler Harvey's got the 7 points, Sam Froling the 6, and then everyone else has just had a sprinkle. It's no surprise they're the 2 that are shooting over 50% from the field.
It was the same issue in round 3 when they had that 30-point loss. Only Robinson and Clark scored in double digits for the Hawks that night. And they're finding it awfully tough again here. Clark trying to get something for Tyler Harvey. Good defense from McDaniel. Got the step back. Can he get this under 4? He can. Well done, Tyler Harvey. First player in double digits for the Hawks. He's got 10.
Sean McDonald couldn't have done much more than that, especially when it's a 2-for-1 situation. That shot was always going up. Oh!
Cannot leave him open.
Even McDonald.
48% from 3.
Knocking that down a long way behind the 3-point line. As they notch up the half century. Been a long time since they've hit the century mark. The Tassie JackJumpers been almost 10 games. But they're on track here at half-time as Crawford got the foul in.
And you think about last week, obviously, they lost to Perth by 1 and a heartbreaker and then laid that egg at home against Sydney. But what we're seeing right now, albeit that Illawarra's not playing to the standard we saw in the last few games, no doubt about that. But this is why a lot of people have Tassie as a contender and a legit contender, because defensively, since Will Magnay's come back, they've been elite, and offensively, they've got weapons. And one of those weapons in particular is Jordan Crawford. The more we see it, the more we realise just how good of a pickup this was.
They've got 3 closers. Almost said Darnell Mee then, but that's who he reminds me of, Milton Doyle, Crawford, and Jack McVeigh. I mean, any 3 got their game winners. So coming down the stretch in a tight playoff game in the grand final, you got some home run hitters.
Don't ruin your percentage, Sean.
He got it away in time. He wasn't worried about the percentages, Pete. And at half-time, it's a comprehensive lead to the JackJumpers. We knew they were going to respond after back-to-back losses in round 11. Scott Roth will be pleased with what he's seen from his team. 51 points at half-time, but he'd be more pleased. They've kept the Hawks to just 30. Jordan Crawford leading the way with 18 points, but this man has had a big first half. Will Magnay with Brad Rosen.
Yeah, Will, look, I look at the score and 51-30. You come off at 2 losses in a row. You've got to be happy with 30 points. Defense being the key tonight.
Yeah, I think we're very happy. I don't know how many offensive rebounds they've had. You know, that lost us a game in Perth, so we've cleaned that up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's another half, and, you know, they're a re-energised team, so we can't let them come out and swing first. We've got to start the half well.
Sean comes down the middle, throws a little lot up there. Will goes upstairs, talks to me about it. That was one hell of a dunk.
Yeah, I'm going to make the free throw after it. That's what's annoying me at the moment, but and they trusted me up in the air, so it's good to be out there.
Said like a true big man, forget the free throw. Great dunk. Enjoyed the second half.
Thank you, mate.
Well, it's a big night of basketball still to come. Half-time here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Stick with us. Matt Russell and Brad Rosen will talk us through the first half.
guys play for? Who do you play for, Sienna? No, the Shoalhaven Tigers. Who do you play for, Sienna? Both Shoalhaven Tigers. Now, what we're doing today is we're going to see who's the best Santa's little helper on the course. But before we do that, let's have a look at what's going on with Bells over here. So how are we playing the game today?
All right, we've got Tomahawk here. Tom, don't go too far away. We're going to show the kids what to do. So, he's going to pick up the present from the sack, all right? Now, Tom, you run through. Go through the obstacle course. Go, Tom, show them how it's done. So, you're going to run through here. First obstacle, second obstacle. He's going to, oh, Soma! That was beautiful. You're going to run back in, and then you're going to tag the next person, okay? Then, Tom, just pretend you were the last one. The last person runs through all the way with the ball, and they're going to pass it to the baller. Who is going to take the shot from where?
Two pairs of Pokemon shoes, one from my dad and one from my mum. They both didn't know that they got me the shoes.
I was like big into Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Finally got them for Christmas, and when the new year ticked over, I was stunting them at school the first day.
I'm so old, but probably the PS1. PlayStation. First PS1. My first PlayStation.
A PS3. I got a dog on Christmas. Sounds weird, but candles. I love candles. I think it's just a great, easy gift. First bike.
A basketball hoop. Don't know if people remember this, but the green machine, kayak for Christmas one year. My parents actually wrapped it up, put it in the living room.
Probably Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock on the Wii. Whoa, dude.
I got this Phoenix Suns warm-up shirt, and that's unique because Steve Nash is my favorite player.
My uncle bought me a surfboard.
So the best present I actually ever received was my kid. He was born back in Nebraska, and I wasn't able to attend because the season had started. But they came down in December.
My mom got me some kicks, the blue T-Max. They were kind of like shiny. That was pretty special.
Christmas, the season for giving and receiving, and the Hawks are copping it right now, down 51-30. Before we get to the game, what's the best Christmas present you ever received?
Working with Matty Russell. He just asked me to say that, by the way.
I got lots of lumps of coal, that's all I know, and a great set of undies and socks 10 years ago. Stays with me. Now this game here, it's staying with Hawks fans for the wrong reason. They are being outplayed in every facet. The shooting percentage for the Hawkies below 40%. They're being badly out-rebounded, and the scoreboard shows that. Where do they start?
Well, it has to start on the defensive end. We have been saying about it to them, but they've just got to be able to get stops. Look at this defense. That's not what we showed at the tip-off. There was nothing in there. This man has been outstanding, but it's not like they've put pressure on him. He's pulling up, hitting threes, little bit of a dance here, doing whatever he likes. It is not what we've seen for the first 4 games under Jason Tatum. They've got to get back, forget the score, get that in 10 within 3/4 time is what they need to do.
The Hungry Jacks halftime highlight showed it magnificently. Jordan Crawford, 6 of 10 in the first half, 3 of 5 from outside, and this shot chart, it's painful viewing for anyone from Wollongong.
Well, you look at the Blackmore shot chart, he just does whatever he likes. Look, 10 shots from 18 points, and as I said before, there's just hasn't been that pressure on him that they've been able to do. That's where they've got to be able to start. They come out in the second half, and I'd like to see them put someone on their bottom and just let them know we're here tonight, because it's a packed crowd. It's been great, but it's not the Illawarra Hawks. I'm expecting Tatum to fire them up.
Yeah, Will Magnay also contributing big time again for Tasmania, shooting from the field at 100%. He mentioned you at halftime, he's 1 of 6 from the free throw line, so he'll look to improve that, but still a great contribution. Making a contribution momentarily for the Hawks in the first half and in spectacular fashion. Enjoy this at home. Sam Froling putting Madjock Ding.
Well, look at that. That is the best dunk of the year, no question. Goes up and dang. Well, that's your Instagram moment for Deng, and that's the best dunk of the year.
You gave that best dunk of the year, but for how long?
Well, not for long, because then we had the next one, and you look at the way they go now. Sean comes down the middle. Will Magnay says, I got this one, and look at that. And then he worries about it at halftime and said, I missed a free throw. Mate, I would have given up an 80% shooting from free throw just to do one of those dunks. Will Magnay, dunk of the year.
Now, I bet your left leg that it wouldn't be a 30-point margin again like it was in round 3. Well, at 51-30, it might be. I would have bet a different part of your anatomy, but we're in a family-friendly slot. So let's see what happens from here and what sort of price you pay. We know that there's a game in Adelaide tomorrow and then Christmas Day. A double-header. The NBL going where no other sport has gone in the modern era. There's Santa. He'll be at Kudos Bank Arena, but we start in Tasmania, of course, then go to Sydney. What a day.
Cannot wait. Christmas Day. We got a taste of it last year with one game by getting 2 this week. This coming Monday. Can't wait. Everyone settle in, have a nice Christmas, and then get to watch 2 games of fantastic basketball.
JackJumpers against South East Melbourne, then Sydney against Illawarra. Will Jordan Crawford continue to ignite Wynn Stadium, or do the Hawks fight back? We'll find out the second half coming your way next.
Sound is the storyteller of our lives, the keeper of our memories. They shape us, define new frontiers and opportunities. Sounds bring us together to share our experiences. One of the Frenchies riders, we push mountains, break barriers, and ignite the spirit of possibility. These sounds are the anthem of Illawarra, telling the stories of lives through the sounds that shape us.
Every day I get to play basketball is a good day. And I know the guys are excited to suit up on Christmas Day, and after that we get to go home and spend Christmas with our families.
I would say David was the worst gift giver. Maybe like a weird gift just to have it be funny.
AJ, he's just young and he hasn't got experience buying gifts, I don't think. We're gonna have to go with one of our young guys, Bawali. Who knows, maybe he might surprise me.
The best gift giver, I'll probably say Gary.
Probably Gary Clark. He's done numerous of things with the team already as far as just giving.
What would I like? Oh man, I'd love a win. I'd love a win on Christmas.
Clothes, like some a nice jacket or some nice pants.
We've been at the bottom for so long, you know, and now we're trying to find our way and come to the top. And I think a win on Christmas will just make everybody happy. Have them see how great they can be.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that the NBL is doing this. I mean, I grew up watching NBA with my family. It was a big special time. To bring that sort of entertainment to the Australian side is something that's special. I think the league done a great job with that, and to be a part of it is, you know, something that I don't take for granted as well.
NBL on Christmas night. Make sure you stuff your stomachs at lunch and then sit down. 5:30, Tassie will host the South East Melbourne Phoenix, and then the Sydney Kings take on the Illawarra Hawks. And Damon, that rivalry is real.
That rivalry is super real. It is a legitimate dislike of both the teams, the fan bases, the suburb, the cities, everything. So, humongous game on Christmas Day.
Pete Hooley, what are you looking for in this second half? How can the Hawks get themselves back in the contest?
Well, that was both good and bad. Threw a little bit of a trap in the corner. That was good, but then they just didn't rotate out of it and give up a layup to Anthony Drimmick. And again, they just can't let that deflate them. I think that's what we saw too often in the first half. Whether mostly it was missed shots and good-looking shots, wide open ones that just didn't go down. You can't let that deflate you. You've still got to play down the other end. There's another foul on Will Magnay. That's his third. And we've seen this from Scott Roth, haven't we, with Will Magnay. Doesn't start the game, but starts the third quarter. They've got this kind of 1-2 punch flowing pretty well. That's a good tack there from Gary Clark.
And being a shot blocker, obviously, you want to have a discipline. I like the way Marcus Lee blocks it. He stays down, waits for you to shoot it, then goes and get it. Will likes to go up in the air, and people want to show Will the ball. He tends to get real bouncy. You got to protect himself.
It took me a while to understand the way he started that sentence, saying being a shot blocker, and I had to look down at who was next to me.
You heard John Casey say I had 8 block shots in my career. 8.
That's impressive.
7 more than you, probably.
Probably. The average height of when I was playing was a bit different.
A big third term here for Illawarra, just to try and get themselves back in the contest. And as we said, got to butter up again Christmas night. And Drimmick gets to the ring. Couldn't get it to finish, though. A chance now for the Hawks. Got Harvey, Robinson, Clark, Swarkle, Bullock and Froling, so they're starting 5. Just a bit stagnant offense at the moment. There's Robinson, who's yet to score. 0 from 4 from the field. Shot clock ticking down. This isn't a great offensive set, but Harvey, if anyone can make something from it, not on that occasion.
See, Sam Froling, you know, he had Anthony Drimmick on him, and his teammates was happy for Anthony Drimmick to guard Sam, and it's little things like that. You're not going to get back in this game by not going to your obvious mismatches. And
well, it's not so much, I guess, the mismatch at times, but again, this, we call it a resurgence from the Hawks. They just fall asleep on that and give up wide open shots to Drimmick. That's short, thankfully. Has been on the back of both Gary Clark and Sam Froling being beasts inside, as there's a 3-point play opportunity. They finally throw it to him. They have barely looked to them. Garrett Clark and Froling have had to try and make their own when they do eventually see the rock. It's no surprise that this whole turnaround, a lot of it was based on them going from guard-heavy offensive weapons to the big men. Gary Clark's been phenomenal. Sam Froling's been really good. And then Tyler Harvey's going to do his thing. Everyone else is going to chip in and they're going to roll from there. But remember the start of the season, what we all thought, we're like, okay, Tyler Harvey, Justin Robinson, this team is going to have offensive firepower in that guard spot and everyone else will float around. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and they really found something with the other two.
Magnay might have got away with a walk. Hawks bench thought so, but gets another couple of points. 13 for Will Magnay to go with his 7 rebounds. As Robinson gets his first points of the night.
Scott Roth won't be happy with that. A layup on one end and giving up a layup in transition. And these are the games, Pete, that's hard to play. And sometimes if you get a lead early, we saw with the Cairns game, Cairns v. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, that once the game looks like it's over, teams tend to relax. And that's when all the sloppy habits creep in. And one thing that Scott Roth will not let happen is sloppy habits.
Yeah, Scott Roth is not one. They like to continue to keep their foot on the gas. So originally the call was Tasmania, the ball, the ref came together. And it's going to be Hawks ball. Another turnover for Milton Doyle.
Joey, you jinxed him. Or no, you just were stating the truth.
I'm just spitting facts.
That's it.
Yeah. Most turnovers in the league, Milton Doyle.
You can have both. Both these teams being on Christmas Day. Look forward to that.
So back to 19 points. Clark wants it down low. He's going to go to work on McVeigh. He's patient, takes his time, couldn't get it to finish. Froling had the chance as well, but they'll keep the ball.
And there's no doubt then that Gary Clark knew the presence of Will Magnay. He still should have made it. 9 times out of 10 he's going to make it, but Will Magnay was just waiting. Almost like a praying mantis back there, just saying, okay, I'm going to wait and try and time this. Just hanging off Sam Froling.
The praying mantis is in New Zealand, but I hear what you're saying. But you know who else was waiting? Sam Froling was waiting. Because if Will wants to go over there and help, then Sam about to tip in. And that's his 4th foul.
You might see Magnay take a seat. Good offense from Robinson, was aggressive.
Are you claiming the praying mantis nickname for Savage?
Well, it's either that or Kid Vicious. Which one?
I don't mind that one because I think just putting praying in front of his first name is not
Too
bad.
easy?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, that's...
You're a smarter man than that.
I'm better than that.
Yeah, you are.
Can we go with Kid Vicious?
You okay with that one?
So far, so good.
Yep.
Well, don't miss your chance to be part of the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters Global Tour as they take the court with moments of extreme basketball innovation and unparalleled fun coming down to a city near you. So check it out, get the tickets, www.hg2024.nbl.com.au.
Oh, the irony of this man being on the screen during that read. As we spoke about it earlier in the season, but out of college, signed with the Harlem Globetrotters to become one and start his basketball journey that way instead of being a professional traveling around the world in the top leagues. It didn't eventuate the way he would have liked, and thankfully for us, I mean, we get to see him land in Tasmania and do wonderful things this year. Sam Froling now starting to get going, and they're just slowly pegging it back. But all that's going to matter is this end here. Can they get enough stops consecutively?
Rolling up to 10 points and 8 rebounds. Can they get a stop here, the Hawks? Crawford goes to work. Good defense from Illawarra. Shot clock down to 3, though Doyle's left wide open. He can't make them pay, but another offensive board. That's number 10. They were number 1 in the league coming into tonight. Offensive rebounds, Tassie. And they've done it again, although the Hawks almost did a good job at heads-up play from Jack McVeigh.
Is Jack claiming that? Was that a dime?
Well, again, can't let that deflate you because that was great defense. I mean, initially it was beautiful offense from Tasmania to get Milton's Doyle that good look. They gave up an offensive rebound.
Harvey, little floaters. We get back down to Matty Russell.
Yeah, interesting contrast since half-time. Tassie gave up only 6 personal fouls in the first half. They conceded 4-0 in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter.
And the Hawks just making a little bit of a run, bit of a crack at it.
Got a head spell. Now, Damon, we just saw Tyler Harvey with his patented floater. From my best understanding, that early 2025, that man will be eligible to become an Australian citizen and hence a local player in this competition. That's going to be a very attractive thing.
See where you're going.
Out of contract this year. That's going to be a very attractive thing, not just for the Hawks, but for other teams around the league. Oh.
Jordan, don't tease us like that.
See, Jordan Crawford just got Dave O'Hickey game of Twister. I've never seen legs lock up like that.
Unfortunately, couldn't finish the play. That would have been all over socials as Clark now knocks down a triple.
Here they come.
The crowd just starting to get involved. Back to 13 points.
They're getting stops. Doesn't matter how you get stops, whether it's just turning the ball over.
Closest
shots.
Yep, sorry, Pete. Closest they've been since the first quarter.
Oh, my word.
That's okay. Hey,
can I have this dance?
Luckily, that didn't go in. We'll come back to that, though, Peter. I hear what you're saying. We got to finish that Tyler Harvey naturalization piece because that's intriguing.
Isn't it?
Before we get to that, we'll get back down to Brad Rosen.
Just watching the Illawarra defense here. They're up and in, and you boys, I have been to the physio, and the hamstring is feeling good. Here come the Hawkies.
You can't tell me that that man's left leg wasn't twitching in the first half. Never once have we seen that put on as a wager before the game.
Here's Robinson. Again, they want to go into the block to Clark. He likes the match up on McVeigh. Good defence. Poor execution, although fortuitous bounce for Froling. He's up to 12.
And again, there's been Gary Clark and Sam Froling who are starting to be more aggressive on the offensive end, and they're ticking the scoreboard over. There's 3 of 13 from outside. And that, he's a sniper.
What's he shooting, Pete?
48% from 3. You might think you're closing out close enough, but you're not. Basically, right now, if Sean McDonald gets the shot off, your closeout is not hard enough. Make him put the ball on the floor and get underneath the three-point line.
And that 3 just sapped a little bit of energy out of the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Can Robinson answer? Good work from Hickey. Just couldn't finish. There's more energy about the Hawks in this third quarter.
They have come out with a little more energy. But 16 points down is still a serious deficit. One thing about Justin Tatum, when he was at St. Louis Billiken, he was all defense. His first team all defense in college. So he's not gonna just let this defensive effort slide. He took some paint off the walls at halftime.
He's done it from the inside, Froling, and now he's doing it from the outside.
He shoots 75% from 3, which begs the question, why is he not shooting it more from out there?
Big quarter from Froling. He's up to 15 points. And they hang around, although a good feed from Lee back to Doyle and into trouble. Another turnover. That's 10 for the JackJumpers.
Getting stops, getting scores down the other end. Harvey Norman replay. Scott Roth was screaming this might have been a carry from Gary Clark. It looked pretty good from there. Sam Froling, Marcus Lee's going to give him that. He's shooting at a decent clip on a very small sample. And the Hawkies are just hanging around.
I'm all for Sam Froling taking 20 shots a game, no matter how. I don't care how they come. He just got to get shots up. He's one of the most talented bigs in the league, and I think he lets other bigs off the hook by not being aggressive.
Yeah, I think what we've seen, especially, and I mentioned it just before, is that since Justin Tatum took over, their success has come from Clark and Froling being B1 and B2. They're the main 2, right? And everyone else is going to fill their role. Tyler Harvey's going to have his nights like he did against the Phoenix. Going to have everybody be able to chip in, but those 2 are going to be the stars. And was that a flat tire? I think he was going to try and go up, and then just saw the.
He might have tricked on Marcus Lee's leg. I think Froling. Now Clark and Froling are working together again. They were just on the different page earlier. Clark, nice move. Damon, the Hawks have kept the JackJumpers to 13 points this quarter. Doing a pretty good job defensively. Can they stick it out for the rest of the quarter? It's good defense again. Now Steindl.
Surprised he turned that down, Ben.
Real.
Passed it up.
2 for 3.
So instead they go to McVeigh.
Just bad communication there from Clark and AJ Johnson. No screen set, just a quick little slide screen from Jack McVeigh. Nothing but net.
It's the second time when it's looked like the Hawks are just getting a little bit of momentum, a bit of a run. Tassie have answered with a 3. But still hovers at that 16-point margin. Inside the final 2 minutes.
The margin for error playing the Tasmania JackJumpers is very, very small. You're not going to have a whole bunch of time to get deep, to find the rhythm and to make runs. Because they're not going to play bad enough basketball, Pete. They're going to be too efficient. They might give you maybe 2 minutes of sticky play, but for the most part, they're going to be very methodical.
And it's even smaller when you give them a 20-point lead in the first half. You just got to make sure every single possession is that important. Because the Hawks have been good this third quarter, and what are they going to have to show for it? Currently still staring down a big margin at three-quarter time, and I hate to say it, but we could be looking at a bad-looking hamstring for one of our men inside.
Clark knocks down a triple. They've won the quarter by 6 points, Illawarra. Certainly nowhere near enough. Tassie's still well and truly in control. Crawford just the 2 points in this third term after having 18 at halftime, and McVeigh has just made 7 unanswered points.
He's going to be in the conversation for most improved player, Jack McVeigh, which is incredible to think. His numbers haven't obviously been enormous from last year, but they're all career highs. But his impact, and there's another one from Sam Froling. And what do we keep saying, Damon? Clark and Froling get the ball in their hands, the scoreboard's ticking over.
Say it all the time.
He's already got a double-double, Sam Froling. 17 points, 10 boards, shooting at 73% from the field. Continuing his terrific form under Justin Tatum.
But it's the other end. It's the other end. They got some issues with the pick and roll coverage. Sam Froling didn't want to leave Marcus Lee on that pick and roll, so Jack McVay gets the roll. He shoots him a nice little lefty. Sam didn't trust the secondary weak side help. So Jack ends up with a wide open little 4-footer.
JackJumpers have been able to have this 15-point lead without really Milton Doyle having any influence, just the 6 points. He made the first 4 points of the game. Since then, hasn't had to do a lot. They haven't needed him.
Right, just right there. You're just trying to make a run, close with some momentum. You give up a layup.
So for all their hard work, the Hawks have just won this quarter by 4 points. As Hickey's going to get called for the travel.
Here's another stat for you, Pete. No block shot for Marcus Lee, but forced the guy to travel because he was scared to shoot.
Their presence is huge. Both Lee and Will Magnay.
And again, McDonald's going to have a crack from half court. And again, he leaves it short, and he's ruining his percentages, Pete, as he rolls his eyes and says, think about the numbers. But it's a big lead to Tassie. They're the numbers that matter. They lead this one by 17 points at three-quarter time.
Discover the range at City Motors Group and find the vehicle that improves your game. City Motors Group, driving the Illawarra.
Okay, it is time for the City Motors Group Fast and Fierce Frenzy. We have Rob with us tonight. Now, last week we had Robbo win the car with the half-court shot. Rob, you think you're going to get it?
Oh, okay. I was talking to Rob. He did play basketball in his past. He hasn't played for about 8 years, so I think you can do it. So, Rob, the rules are you're going to get a layup, you're going to get a free throw, a three-pointer, and then a half-court shot. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, I think you do it. Now, let's watch what I'm doing here. So, cameraman, watch my feet here. So, what we're doing is, Rob, you have to be behind the line. So, this would be no. This would be yes. This would be no.
Okay, yes. Let's do it. It's all thanks to City Motors Group Fast and Fierce Frenzy. Let's go, crowd, in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. It's in.
All right, it's in. Let's get back to the free throw line. Behind the line. And, oh, that looked like it was in. But what are they?
He's calm and collected.
All right, Rob. You're right, mate. Drain it, Rob.
Make some noise. Encourage Rob here, guys. Come on. Let's go, Rob.
Hey, we're in. Okay, behind the three-point line. That is it. All right, let's go to half-court. Stay behind the line. Use the line, Rob.
Is it good?
Go again.
2, 1.
Well, the positive for that quarter, the Hawks, they didn't lay down. They came out fighting, they had a crack, and they won the quarter by 4 points. The negative was they still trail by 17, and Tassie JackJumpers look a class above in this contest. They are well and truly in command, looking to bounce back. Damon Lowry, Pete Hall, you've been impressed with the JJs?
Yeah, there's levels to this. Tassie's best and the Hawks' best, they're not the same. And because the Hawks spotted them so many points, and I shouldn't even say spotted them, Tassie's just that good. And when they switched on, you need your A game to compete with these guys.
Because offensively, they were really good in that third quarter. It's a good start here from Hyungjong Lee. But defensively, they just didn't get enough stops. It seemed that whenever they managed to put points on consecutively, whether it was Froling or Clark or Tyler Harvey hitting a three, they gave up layup down the other end, just to really hold any momentum they were trying to get.
Good ball movement. The JackJumpers, Chris Levitt getting some minutes.
Tassie is putting you in that long rotation with that high pick and roll. Wollongong's Illawarra jumping out aggressive. They hitting the short roll, and this is a long closeout, Pete. They got shooters everywhere.
Yeah, and they're not a team I don't think you can trap like that in the half court. If you're going to press, it's got to be full court, right, to try and speed them up. Because in the half court, they're just too well drilled. If you throw two guys at the ball as soon as you get over half court, they're going to go pass, and end up in this situation, either getting a layup, a wide-open shot, or a free throw.
Matt Russell, you were listening to Scott Roth from the huddle.
I love listening to Tasmania huddles. Again, it was clear, calm, concise. Everyone had so much time to have their say. Coach Roth said, the Hawks got one more swing in them, one more. He referred to their run there in the third quarter, saying that some of it was self-induced. Then he made a few subtle defensive messages and changes, and order restored. Up to you, Brad Rosen.
Well, Gary Clark started that quarter-time break just telling everyone what he thought and the way they were playing defense. Then Justin Tatum settled in and just said, can we win this game? Yes, we can. It's going to start on the defensive end, no layups, and then offensively, just get stops and run. Let's watch out for my hamstring and the Illawarra Hawks to get going.
During that, Krislovic missed both free throws, but that was upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul for excessive contact above the head, above the neck, sorry. On the head is Sean McDonald. Damon.
Same play.
I've said it.
Say it again, Pete.
Had he not taken both half-court attempts,
what would his percentage be?
He'd be 3 of 3 for 100%.
There's Peatling. Attacks the rim, draws the foul.
One I'm okay with. One, you're an elite shooter, shooting at an unbelievable clip from deep this season. You might get one to go. But if the ball lands in your hands like it did at the end of the third quarter, just wait for that siren to go and then throw it.
Damon, Justin Tatum looks like he's gone to the bench. He's got Olbrich, Peatling, and Lee, Swackle the Bullock. At what stage do you think he just has an eye on Christmas night against the Kings with this game? It was all good to say, you know, we can still win this, but at what point do you start thinking about a couple of days' time?
I want to give it to the 5-minute mark. Now, there's no quitting Justin Tatum, so he wants to see some fight. You want to see what they made of, because like I said, this is their first real test since this streak has happened. Nice drop-off by Justin Robinson. But at the 5-minute mark, because it's 15 or under, 15 or over, it's time to pack it up.
I disagree for the sake of, if they're trying to make a run at this, percentage is going to matter for them, right? Most likely to get into a 6th spot. If they're serious about trying to get to that 6th spot, they're going to have to get every single point that matters. It doesn't matter whether this game's a blowout or however it looks. But also, obviously, the wins are going to matter. Sean McDonald only misses one that isn't a half-court heave.
You know what? Exactly. You're spot on, Pete. I'm mad at myself for even saying that.
I didn't want to try and backhand you.
I just embarrassed myself on national television. There is no laying down, no matter what. Don't care if we playing in 10 hours time. Fight it out.
Look, if Ruck was texting early, Ruck should be all over that as well. I've never heard you say quit. Are you okay?
We'll go do some push-ups after this.
And the positive for the Hawks is under Justin Tatum, they've won all 4 final quarters and outscored their opposition by an average of 7 points. So they are finishing strong.
2, holding the screener.
So they won't give up hope.
In his habits.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe, his habits. You got to, like, how do you respond? Right now, this is a tactical thing. It's not about heart and effort right now. It's about what are we doing with this high pick and roll, Pete? Where are we rotating from? Do we still want to guard the pick and roll like we're doing right now?
Well, it hasn't been working. We have seen them play a few possessions of zone under Tatum as well. They haven't gone to that. I think you just got to try and be really solid one-on-one.
Come in, Matt Russell.
Well, come on, Damon. You lived here and played here. You know wonderful Wollongong. No matter whether you're down by 5, 10, 20, 50, you stand your blue collar up, you roll your sleeves up, and you duke it out for the last few seconds. You drag them to the corner, you kick them all of them down. You never, ever rest a soul.
Matt, I brought shame on myself and family. I've apologized. Never again.
Shame.
You're 100% right.
For all their hard work, they still trail by 19 points, the Hawks. Tassie in control. Justin Robinson looks a little bit sore.
See, nobody in Wollongong is going to come out there and try to massage Justin's hip. They stay in their boxes.
and I mean, I did want to talk about it at some point. I mean, we saw the NBL statement, right? Had to be made. It's the right way to approach that, because we've seen a lot of instances, one in particular at this venue, where things don't end up as nicely as that. So the blanket rule is you just can't do it, unfortunately. As though it was a great moment.
It was a nice gesture.
An iconic moment. I remember being in, when was it, 2019 down at Albury, playing NBL 1. They had their bench is right behind our bench, I mean their fans, and a little bit of extracurricular landed on my shoulder.
I hope it was just a drink. So tough night at the office for the interim coach, Justin Tatum, as you can see. He knows it's been a tough night. I haven't had any answers. JackJumpers have been in complete control.
I'm always interested to see how teams play with big leads. Sometimes it just seems like it's player nature, human nature, just to relax because you think it's over. And then the bad habits creep in, and then you got a game on your hands.
Come in, Brad Rosen.
Just want to elaborate on what Damon's saying, and a question to both he and Hools. When do you bring Magnay in? Now, this team is better when he is in the game. Yes, he's got 4 fouls, but this team is now 19 points up. Does it go to 20 and 25 and he can sit, or do you leave him for the next game?
I think you definitely got to throw him in there at some point. Again, this is someone who's only going to get match conditioning by being on the floor. So he has got the 4 fouls. I wouldn't be surprised if he does check in sooner rather than later, regardless of how the score looks, because they want to continue to get that conditioning in for him. He does have a big matchup on Christmas Day against Alan Williams, no doubt about that.
See, how come minutes restrictions don't work the other way? Like, when guys are hurt, they say, okay, you're only going to play 12 minutes. Okay, well, what about I want to play a guy enough minutes to get him match fit? What's that called? Let's say we make sure it's KRS-1, Christopher hits a 3 ball. Let's make sure that Will gets 25 minutes regardless. See, it doesn't seem to work in the opposite.
They continue to shoot the ball well from long range. Tassie shooting at 43% now.
13 of 30. Just a 5 of 17 from the Hawks. That's better offense.
They just jackied the jackies. It's the same high pick and roll, hit the short roller, hit the guy underneath. Both teams having a problem with that particular set.
So the Hawks need to lick their wounds to be ready to play Christmas night against the Kings. And then in round 13, they got Adelaide at home and then South East Melbourne at home. So some real winnable games for Illawarra. They've got to not drop their bundle, don't lose confidence. Still have faith in what they've been doing under Tatum.
One thing NBL24, every single game is winnable, especially if you come up with the right attitude. In saying that, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they're severely compromising. It could be extra tough for those guys.
It's going to be a team that don't like to just lay down. Good knockdown there from Swackle Bullock for Tasmania. They drive the knife in, don't they? So Phoenix don't show up on Christmas Day as Jordan Corcoran's ready to check in in an 18-point game.
Yeah, as you said, they've got South East Melbourne at home, and then round 13 they play New Zealand at home, so they'll stay at home for a little bit, Tassie, and then they go up to Cairns.
Tassie, we're talking about their elite 3-point shooting. They're 13 of 30 for 43% tonight. They've shot over 40% 3 times this season. On track, sorry, 4 times. They're on track to do it again, 30-plus attempts. So you got a team that can score every which way, but shooting it this well from outside, it's going to be really tough to beat, knowing they can do all of that and they still lock up defensively.
Exactly. 2 ways. 2-way players.
And that's all with Milton Doyle over his last 5 games. He's shot 4 from 22 from 3-point range.
Does not help my super coach.
No, but they haven't needed him tonight. Just the 6 points.
He just seems timely. Like, when it's time, like, he doesn't have that killer alpha gene, like, to go like 30-plus minutes and just try to rip your heart out. He'll rip your heart out in smaller doses, smaller packages. But right now, he's content to let everybody else shine.
They've got their starters on. Will Magnay and Clint Steindl. They've come back into the game, and that is a layup. Clint Steindl was waiting there for a week, Damon. Shot pocket was there, right in it. He's not missing that.
They're looking to put the foot down. The JJs, they're not taking the foot off the gas. As you touched on, Will Magnay checks back in. They've got 4 starters, 3 starters and Magnay out there.
Well, we spoke about the Hawks every point, Maddox. It's the same for Tasmania. Because they've dropped a couple, they want to finish second, right? You want to avoid the play-in tournament altogether. The way that the rest of the league is...
Steindl, feet set again.
His name is Clint Steindl, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy. The way the rest of the ladder is looking under Melbourne United, it's going to come down to percentage. And it could very well be a percentage that differentiates whether you're in a play-in tournament or you're in that second spot already in a semi-final series. So all these points matter for Tasmania as well.
They've been hot from three-point land this last quarter. There's again, Magnay affects the shot of Froling. And then commits his 5th personal foul.
Well, he looked like he really tried to avoid it. He didn't want to go close.
As you go, as Harvey Norman says, hey, Clint, can you shoot from that corner? Clint goes, is that a rhetorical question? Harvey Norman says, can you shoot from the other corner? Same answer.
Now that was Will Magnay, the first one, and then he looked like he was just trying to stay out of the way and jump up.
Well, Brad, we subbed Will Magnay back in.
And now we're going to rest him.
Now we're going to rest him for the last 4 minutes.
Just quietly, those back-to-back threes for Clint Steinel. 5 of 6 from long range tonight. Season high, 15 points for him.
Came in shooting 48%.
15 of 32. And one on another one.
Stop.
3 for $1. Good look, too. Just love that play, right? We don't see that enough. We see that for very few guys in the league when they've hit back-to-back threes, you make sure he gets the next shot down the floor.
Froling been really good again tonight. He's been up against it with Lee and Magnay.
And again, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but we're sitting here saying, where was this aggression? Not just from him, but from the team to get him the ball in the first half, right? Yes, Will Magnay's an elite rim protector, same with Marcus Lee, but you put them in these positions, you might pick up a couple early fouls on them in the first quarter where they're not going to be as aggressive for the rest of the game.
Spot on. Marcus Lee and Will Magnay have both proven that they can foul out of games. And this has got to be the focus coming in. And it has been. For some reason, it wasn't the focus tonight to go to Sam and Gary early.
22 and 11 on the night for Sam Froling.
And this is the beauty of the league. This is the beauty. Now, the Sydney Kings pose a whole different kind of a monster. They're going 5 out. They're switching everything. They don't have those traditional centers like with Sydney's got. No disrespect to Jordy Hunter and Jonah Bowden, but it's just a different type of guys. So the Hawks got to go from this style, Jackie, to now you got to go deal with the Kings.
It suits them better, though, doesn't it? The way to play against that from Sydney, because that's kind of the speed they want to play at. They kind of want to junk things up and match it with them, but you're playing on Sydney's home floor in front of their fans. So you've got to make sure that you bring that energy. You can't have those deflated moments like they've had for too long in this game. And obviously it's a big rivalry game as well. Everyone will get up for that as well on Christmas Day.
Well, Marcus Lee has split his time tonight with Will Magnay, gets his first point of the night.
And JackJumpers, so that we keep mentioning they've done all this work and put up 94 points, and Milton Doyle just having 6 points. So when Milton Doyle clicks back in, all of a sudden this team is looking more and more potent down the stretch of the season. A lot of people keep asking, well, who's going to challenge Melbourne United? This JackJumpers team is going to be up there. Well, the way we've seen Perth beat them last time, they play each other again tonight. So we'll see how Perth respond in another test. But this JackJumpers team, the way they defend, so defending's not going to be the issue, right? They've always done that. But then offensively, they have the punches now. Okay, you want to take Shailene Delhi to take away Jordan Crawford, it's Milton Doyle time. Jack McVeigh, he can get going when he needs to. They've got enough pieces, but the one thing that'll help them more than anything is they're not afraid. They've done this. They beat them 2 years ago.
They got scoring off the bench. Tough hit by the Korean sniper and H.J. Lee. They're complete.
A pretty complete performance from the JJs. Still got just under 3 minutes to go. It's
a block for Pyongyang Lee. Have a look at that. Tasmania have not scored 100 since October 22.
And it's been 10 games against the Kings back in round 4. The last time they did that. You know, it's not necessarily their offense, as you said, Pete. They are the #1 defensive team, but if they can get up towards 100 points a bit more often.
Oh, they're going to be winning nearly every game.
And now Doyle gets in on the party.
Good grief.
He said he's been struggling a bit in recent games.
He's going to be raising the bat here for sure.
16 of 34 for 47%.
Unbelievable shooting. You're not losing too many games at that rate. Oh, wow.
Crawford, who set them alight in the first half, hasn't been needed in this second half. Just 2 points.
I've got another question for you, Damien. We talked a bit about Tyler Harvey and potential to be a citizen come early 2025, which means if he does sign another contract with the Hawks or anywhere else, halfway through the season would be a local, which would be very attractive. But Will Magnay, what more do you have to see out of him for the rest of this year if you're Tasmania to lock him in on what kind of level are we talking? Are we looking at a marquee level which we expected him to be and that he'd be on? Or is the injury cloud going to be too much to do that? Or do you run the risk of not getting that done early and he enters free agency and every other team comes into the fray?
Okay, that's a super long question. There's no way I'm letting Will Magnay get into free agency.
Exactly.
That's not going to happen. But I'd still want to see a full season. I want to see a full season injury-free. And it wouldn't kill him, too, Pete. I like to see that 15-foot jump shot. Does he have that in his bag? Now, you say, yeah, back in the day, right before he went to New Orleans. But I would like to see him be able to stretch the floor just a little bit, let his game evolve. We know what he is on the defensive end. And I even like him down low on the block as well. But give me a full year injury-free in free agency. You two will never meet.
Well, that doesn't work. You went away from my question, so you just went straight to Damon Tangent Lowry.
Well, the question was so long it confused me.
You can't just lock him in for 1 year. You can't say, hey, we want to see you once before we reward you, because I guarantee you there's going to be a couple of other teams out there that say...
I got 2 on the possible.
Right.
2 on the possible.
So that's going to be locked in. And maybe some back-ended money is what you're saying. That those last 2 years, you show us next year you're healthy, we will load you up for some option years. That's what you're going with.
I'm happy with that. If you need an agent, Will, call me.
Jack McVeigh, a few little tricks, couldn't get that to finish.
Oh, I would love to see him over in Summer League next year. Didn't get to have the best run at his NBA dream at the time he went over there when COVID just hit in New Orleans.
What about Boomers? Is he a chance for the squad for Paris 2024, or is it going to come too quick?
It might come too quick. And again, but he is only 25, right? But you look at the depth in the big men department, there's definitely going to be a gap there for him to continue to prove. And
that Boomer squad, though, Joey, you bringing up some... We got to throw some names in this squad. Jonah Bolden, he's got to be in there. Mitch Creek's going to be in there.
You know why? But back to Jonah Bolden, you know why he has to be in the fray? Because what's the one thing the Boomers need is shooting. And he is shooting at 44% from 3.
Jack Jumpers notch up for triple figures. As we said, since round 4 was 10 games. Their season high scoring was 105 points that night against the Kings. Can they reach that tonight as Crawford tries a little party trick? AJ Johnson.
I'm going to count that.
Goal 10.
Goal 10. That's where he's at his best, AJ Johnson. Just getting out of transition. You saw often here when he gets the ball, whether it's a rebound or an outlet, Tatum is screaming to get downhill. It's some heat on the rim.
His limited minutes in the NBL, Pete, haven't affected his draft sort of rankings. You've seen some...
Yeah, the Yahoo recent report had him climbing, and again, it's a lot of the draft. I mean, let's be honest, unless you're very the rare instances, LeBron and Wemby, what we've seen is all on potential with what they could be. Showing those glimpses under Tatum, no doubt about it. It's all about just growing. It's entering the NBL as one player, as a young kid straight out of school, and finishing that season as a completely different player with a lot of growth.
And don't forget, when they get into camp, when they get into some of those NBA workouts and they see his athleticism, that changes a lot of GM's minds.
And then what becomes really enticing is that he just had a whole season playing against men in a really respected competition that is the NBL. So you don't have to come in and average 12 points. You don't have to come in and do any of that. You're just going to come in and leave as a better player.
Crawford trying to finish off on a positive note. That'll almost see us out. The bucket will count, so it'll end up being 11 points. I think it will count. It doesn't matter. The damage was done in the first quarter. They led by 13 points at quarter time. And they end up winning by 11. They're in complete control, the Tassie JackJumpers. It was Jordan Crawford in the first half that led the way. That man had a cameo. Again, just some limited minutes, bowed out. He was impressive. Tough night for Justin Tatum. But Tassie, they bounce back and they show why they are a real threat to Melbourne United.
Yeah, it was that first quarter, wasn't it? You look back in the second half, especially that third quarter, wasn't bad at all. It was pretty good from Illawarra, especially the way they fed the big men. They got Sam Froling going, finished with 22 points and 11 rebounds. Gary Clark had 18 points. They looked really good together. The damage was done early. This is just one of those teams you don't want to be chasing your tail against.
And this is the thing, the Hawks have been it's been awesome for the last 5 games, 4 rounds, last 4 rounds. This is the season. Like, it wasn't always going to be like this. So now you get a chance to respond. You get to lick your wounds, come back. Previous Hawks team early in the season, they might have folded in the very next game. We'll see what they're made of.
They're going to back up at home, Tassie, against Southeast Melbourne, Christmas night, in front of their loyal supporters. It was a comprehensive win, strong team performance. And Matt Russell, he's down courtside with our Foot Locker player of the game.
Yeah, Foot Locker player of the game for a good reason. Lee's just had 20 points for a 4th straight game, again at a devastating clip. Jordan Crawford, your first year in the NBL just gets better and better.
Yeah, first of all, to God be the glory. Merry Christmas to everybody. It's a great holiday to celebrate our Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, he was born that day, so just appreciate everybody out there.
Your reaction to your run at the moment, these 20-point hauls, one game after another. Why are you shooting the ball so well at the moment?
You know, it's just being confident. My teammates are being confident in me, you know, telling me just to play my game. You know, it always starts in practice, getting your extra reps, and it starts on the defensive end. When we play good defense, we get anything we want on offense.
That win was built on a devastating first quarter. What drove such a bright start from Tasmania?
Just the Jackie way, you know, grit and grind, being up the floor, making it dirty, you know, picking up full court, trapping, you know, just making them uncomfortable.
You're a pocket rocket. What's it like playing behind the tall Timna, Magnay, Marcus Lee, Fabian Krislovic and the alike?
Oh, it makes me be a lot more confident when I can get up in the guys, corral them, and force them down to them guys, and they're a wrecking to deal with. They always got my back down there, and, you know, they make up for my mistakes.
We know you're engaged on Christmas Day, but Tasmania, it's a long way from Cincinnati. So what does Christmas period look for Jordan Crawford on the other side of the world?
Oh, right now, I got my daughter at my house right now, and Tassie, my mom, my dad, my 2 cousins. So it's just getting back to them safely, God willing, and get a little church session tomorrow for Christmas Eve and just celebrate with them.
You're playing some fantastic basketball, Jordan. Congratulations on the win and compliments of the season to you. Well done.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Jordan Crawford, awesome having him in the league. He was on fire in that first half, boys, and well, he also put a few opponents on skates.
Oh, nearly had 2 of the plays of the year. Just didn't knock him down, but he's just so electrifying to watch. And again, the fact that he mentioned the Jackie way means that we might be seeing Jordan Crawford for a lot longer in the league, and I'm okay with that. I love the way he spoke about how he can get up and in with Will Magnay being back in. That's why their defense has been better. Because they feel more confident, hey, if I get beat, I've got help.
He's a global scorer. Everywhere he's ever been, he knows how to put the ball in the hole. Size has literally nothing to do with it. If you are under 5'8" in Tassie, follow this man.
20 points, 44% shooting, 3 of 7 from long range. And well, Gary Clark, it wasn't the night for the Hawks, but he was kind enough to join us. He spoke to Brad Rosen.
Gary, you give up 100 points tonight after keeping teams to 74 over a good 4-game streak. What happened?
First half, we was the old Hawks. You know, just, I don't know what it was, to be honest. You know, but as a leader, I take full responsibility. The start of the game, having our guys ready. You know, we overemphasize how good this team is, and like, you know, just a well-oiled machine. You know, it's not going to be enough just to do the right thing. It has to be, you know, an extra level of intensity, an extra level of like effort and execution. And I think we lacked that the first 2 quarters.
You've played all around the world. You're experienced. I was watching. You did all the talking there in that huddle. How do you now get a young team that says, right, we can't be complacent. Now we've got to come into Sydney in 48 hours and do X. How do you get that?
Just attention to details. You know, the biggest thing that I've been, you know, telling the coaching staff and the guys is like, this is professional basketball. This isn't Little League. You didn't play well tonight. You didn't execute. The next guy's up. You know, we got that, you know, that we talk about our depth. So, you know, the guys that didn't play a lot tonight should be extra ready to play a lot on Sydney, and just being able to move on to the next one, be a professional, and just understand that we play a lot of basketball games, and just attention to detail is everything. You know, we're fighting for our lives right now.
I know you've played a couple of games on Christmas with Houston, so talk to me about that. Do you love it? Is it exciting? It's a great time of the year.
Absolutely. Yeah, I played twice with the Houston Rockets on Christmas, and, you know, as you get older, you know, the Christmas is no longer about, you know, yourself, but just being able to be the entertainment for people and their families on such a day that most people open up presents and spending time with each other and watching basketball. You know, and being a part of that, it's like one of the highest honors. How many people can say they entertain on Christmas?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So I believe on Monday morning you guys wake up in your own homes. You're going to have your Christmas special, then get up there early?
Yeah. So, yeah, some of us are doing it. Everyone's doing their own thing. I'll be going to church Sunday afternoon, and then I'll head up right after and just so I can sleep in Sydney. And then, catch brekkie up there and just get recovery and stuff and get ready for the game.
Well, I know it wasn't one of the best one, but you've been a standout for the Hawks this year. I know it's only an 11-point loss. Can't wait to see you up in Sydney. We'll see you then.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Can't ask for a better turnout tonight for the Hawks fans, and just, we're right there. So we're great basketball to be played.
Good on you, Gary. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Consistent again, Gary Clark, 18 points, but pretty impressive to listen, speak to. Damon?
Yeah, he's the leader. He's not the captain, he's the leader of that team. And Brad Rosen isn't fooling me with his Sydney King bias, trying to get some little early scouting reports, one of you guys getting up to Sydney. But now, look, Gary's been consistent all season. He's a professional, he's been there, he's been in a big show, and he knows what the team needs. He knows it's a young team, but he knows what to say when to say it.
Interesting too, just the old Illawarra he mentioned there. They played the first half like the old Hawks, so something they'll look to rectify at Christmas night. Well, Matt Russell, he's been working hard for us. He's down courtside with Jack McVeigh.
Yeah, and with a man who's having a career best season on multiple fronts, Jack McVeigh. That's a big win, 189. What are the highlights of that performance through your eyes?
I love watching what Will Magnay's doing out there. I mean, he's been working hard all season, and we're getting to see a glimpse of what he's capable of. But Jackie's playing Jackie's defense, moving the ball, having fun. That's a good road win.
That's exactly what Jordan Crawford said. Jackie's playing Jackie, so the culture spreads very quickly. We saw Sam Froling deliver that dunk straight away. Will Magnay said, hang on, I've got something to match that, maybe even top that.
I mean, there's some great players in this league. Sam Froling's fun to watch, and then Magnay's throwing it down. We were only talking this morning about no one on the team's gotten a poster yet, so maybe Mags is the first.
You made an awesome start as a team against a team that had found some form. You were off a couple of losses. What drove that sort of aggressive start?
It's just staying with what we do. Throughout a season, you often fall complacent. You don't want to say that, but it just naturally happens, and then you get your butt kicked. Practice is a little more intense, but we're trusting the process, what we do, and we came out and we played a good game of basketball tonight.
You're always positive, you're always up, but you must be loving being part of this Jackie's team.
Oh, I'm grateful every single day, that's for sure.
Are you grateful to be playing on Christmas Day?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I won't get to be with my family. They're in Adelaide, Gold Coast and Chicago, but I know they'll be tuned in watching, cheering me on.
Well, congratulations today, Jack, and congratulations on what's turning out to be a great season for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well done, mate.
Jack McVeigh didn't necessarily stuff the stat sheet tonight, just the 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, but he got buckets when it mattered. Just when Illawarra made a couple little runs, he had a couple of important moments.
Yeah, exactly right. He hit a big three as well, and again, those timely moments are what he's done really well, especially this season. And continues just to have an outstanding individual season, and no surprise that we think of Tasmania now, we think of the Jackie Way culture. Scott Roth #1, but then it's Jack McVeigh, isn't it? He's been there since day one, and he's the kind of guy that you want to have in your club, no doubt about it.
Well, Brad Rosen's been able to go and get someone who will be in the NBA at some stage. He's the next star, AJ Johnson.
AJ, thanks for joining us. Not one of the better games tonight, but you look like you're really starting to fit in and enjoying playing basketball here.
No, I really am. I'm just starting to get comfortable just with our sets and everything like that. This game's starting to slow down a lot for me.
Coach Tatum really shows that he's got and enjoying you. He's got the confidence in you. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel it for sure. Just the way he just throws me in there and just lets me play. We have a couple of sets around for me to get downhill. He's been on me about just in practice, just getting downhill consistently, putting pressure on the rim. So I've just been trying to do that.
I'm always keen, you're a superstar. We know where you're going to go, and you're very nice, and you won't want to do and say anything about it. But do you feel that pressure? You see so much about the next stars in you. Do you feel that?
Not really, honestly. I just try to become I just want to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be, and I just want to take these games as just games where I could just get better, and develop my game.
I believe you're not too bad at golf. Do I hear a little reason there?
That's Gary. That might be Gary. I don't know if that's me. I ain't never golfed before, but it seems interesting.
Talk to me about Christmas. I believe a brother's here. And what's the plans in the next few days?
Honestly, I don't know. We're just going to see what the team is doing. It doesn't really feel like Christmas. It's different. It's really hot. Usually, I'm used to it being cold on Christmas, but I'm just going to see what the team's doing probably.
What's a normal routine for you for game day?
For game day? Yeah. Stretching for sure. That's really a stretching.
Young and enthusiastic. I absolutely love it. You're just ready. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. You can play now.
Yeah, of course. Every time.
You're a superstar. Good luck.
Appreciate you, man.
He's ready to go again. AJ Johnson, he'll play wherever and whenever he's asked and he's told. But looking forward to hopefully seeing him get more minutes as the season continues on. He's certainly a bright prospect. But Pete, you wanted to take a look at the ladder because it was an important win for Tassie. It was a little bit of a danger game with the form the Hawks are in, but you can see why it was an important win.
It's also going to be with the way, again, we're going to keep an eye on the percentage points as well. That's going to be the one to watch because the race, look at Melbourne United are probably going to finish top. It's pretty safe to say the way they're going unless something catastrophic happens. The race for second spot is going to be huge. It's going to come down to percentage most likely or a win or two here or there. Everyone else is falling to each other. The Breakers are on the rise. The Hawks have won a couple up until now. Brisbane just signed Casey Prather. Can they make the rise? The Phoenix are falling. All of a sudden, that race for second spot and that race for sixth spot is very enticing.
Can't wait to see how it all plays out. The semifinals will be very tasty. Perth got Melbourne today. If they drop that one, Jack is going right to second spot.
Yeah, big game straight after this. The Hawks, they have to lick their wounds to face the Sydney Kings Christmas night. And Tassie will stay at home in their beds and host South East Melbourne Christmas night. It was a big win. The Tassie JackJumpers by 11 points.